Well, it's great to be back, Toronto. You know, this is actually my favorite place to scout for companies. And I don't say that when I go to other cities, so it's true. So tonight, I am going to talk to you about 3 tips for raising a seed round in the Valley. But even if you're not raising a seed round in the Valley and you're raising money here, many of these tips are applicable. And I think somebody had asked a question about how do you run a process, a fundraising process. So we'll go through that pretty quickly. As Alex mentioned, I started out as an entrepreneur, and it's from that I ran into a lot of glass windows. And my own fundraising process was not that great, but somehow we got it done. And then later I joined the investor side, and it was from that where I saw some companies really could raise money really well because they ran a great process, and others couldn't, not because they were bad companies, but they just really didn't run a good fundraising process. So these days I run my own fund called Hustle Fund. We invest in very early stage companies, and tonight I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 3 stages of seed. So, you know, I think a lot of people, the first tip that I have is you should really know who to pitch. Now, this is very important because if you pitch the wrong person, you may just think, oh, no one's interested in my company. But it's just that that person is not interested in your company because that may or may not be the type of investment he or she does. And the information that I have on this slide is actually very up-to-date and relevant. Like, this slide would not have applied 18 months ago, and it may not be applicable 18 months from now. So keep that in mind. Today in the Silicon Valley, there are 3 stages of seed: pre-seed, seed, and post-seed. Now, this is kind of silly nomenclature because what does pre-seed really mean? I mean, seed is extraordinarily early. But just to give you a sense, what has ended up happening in the last, say, 2 years is a number of investors who used to invest at the idea stage, they've raised much bigger funds, and they now invest a lot later. And so what has happened is, now that they're investing later, there's a whole new wave of new funds, such as my own Hustle Fund, that have kind of started filling in the void at pre-seed. But what this means for you as a company, and if you kind of look at the milestones or where you are as a company or where you're not, if you are pitching somebody who is in a different segment, they may not be interested, even if they were in a different segment 2 years ago. In other words, for example, take a firm like First Round Capital. You know, years ago, they were probably your first round investors. These days, I don't know, maybe they're third round capital, but they have definitely moved a bit downstream. And so this is the first thing that I'd like to highlight. I'm not going to go over these specific numbers that are on this slide, but you know, we can feel free to send this out later. Secondly, it is really important to have several different plans. So you should have a plan for what if you raise your target amount, what if you're able to raise more than that, what if you're not able to raise that. And for each of these plans, you should know what kind of goal do you want to hit. So investors hate it when you say, I'm raising for 18 months of runway. I mean, what does that really mean? People want to achieve things. People don't want you to just survive on a salary. So you should think about, all right, if I can raise X, what milestones can I hit? If you are already doing revenue, kind of based on the unit economics of your sales, maybe you can make some assumptions around what you might be able to do 6 months from now or a year from now, and how much money do you need to get there. So investors really, really want to back growth, and that's the second thing on this slide. And you know, a lot of entrepreneurs will say, well, I want to raise X dollars to hire 3 engineers, and we're going to build out more product. Investors don't want to hear that. Like, they want to hear about how your startup can grow, and product development is not growth in their minds. Now, certainly, you will probably be using the money that you raise towards product development, but what people want to hear is, what is the outcome of that? So while you are raising money for product development, are you also pre-selling? Are you, you know, also selling? Are you taking out ads, getting users along the way of also developing? What are you achieving in terms of making more progress on your company with regard to revenue or users? The last thing is you should definitely add in some buffer when you make these assumptions. As we all know, things can go wrong, and they'll go really wrong. And so it's really important to kind of keep all of these things in mind as you approach different investors. They may want to understand what the different scenarios look like. All right, so we've already kind of covered this a bit, and I'm running out of time. The last bit that Simon alluded to is you really want to create urgency. So fundraising is a full-time job, and you want to pack your calendar with meetings. Make a list of 50 investors, network like crazy, try to get introductions, even cold email them. Pack in your meetings, and then you can create FOMO by basically saying, hey, you know, I am talking with 10 other investors this week. I don't know when my round's going to close, like if they ask you when your round's going to close, but I am doing a lot of investor meetings. So with that, I'll open up to questions. I'm sure you have many more. You can feel free to email me. And of course, I'm sure many of you are also interested in pitching. You can also feel free to email me. I think I can take one question, or we're out. All right, thank you, we're out. Oh, one question. Okay, cool.
Questions. More than one. Many. Have you stunned everyone here?
Hi, is your company based in Toronto?
No, I flew in from San Francisco. But we do invest in Canadian companies. That's why I'm up here.
All right, thanks.
Do you take pitches by tweet?
Awesome. So as the bar for seed and post-seed and all that stuff kind of moves more forward, more and more, kind of every quarter almost, what do you think happens to later stage VCs? Like, how will they evolve as companies are, you know, growing faster with more revenue and are like close to being profitable in a lot of these cases? Like, I would love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, so investors kind of do this cyclical dance. So right now, a lot of investors are moving downstream because they've raised bigger funds and they're writing bigger checks, and they can't take as much risk with those bigger checks. So that creates an opening in the earlier stage, which is now being filled in by folks like myself. But then at some point, it starts to come back. So 3 years ago, some of those later stage investors started to go back the other way. And so it just kind of goes back and forth like a pendulum.
So as a startup owner, like, what are the pros and cons, would you say, of even raising pre-seed or avoiding it altogether?
So I would say that just generally speaking, with my founder hat on, like, if you can avoid dilution and, you know, grow your company yourself, you should as much as possible. I mean, honestly, I think the best time to raise funding in an ideal situation is for things like growth. Like if, you know this customer acquisition channel is really working, but you only have a limited amount of funds yourself, then you want to just pour a ton of money into it. So that's sort of the generic answer.
I'll ask a question. Being from SF, do you feel comfortable investing in Canadian companies without a local investor, or how do you look at what proof points you need other than meeting with the team and founders?
Absolutely. I'm hoping Simon does well. No, I've been investing up here in the Toronto, well, pan-Canada, but mostly in the Toronto ecosystem for several years now. In my past, at my past VC, we have a number of Canadian portfolio companies. Many of them have done incredibly well, and we did those investments without proof points of other people. So we are happy to invest up here with or without others.
One last question, if there's one.
I've heard some investors actually like to be pitched very early on without necessarily wanting to raise money, just to give them a heads up that this is the idea and get an early feedback and tell them that you're going to come back in 6 months. Have you had that experience, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, isn't that the worst? Yeah, so if I understood correctly, there are some investors who basically like to waste your time by meeting with you earlier when they're not ready to invest today. Is that kind of the question? And there are definitely a lot of those everywhere. Here in the Valley, everywhere, there are a lot of those. And as a founder, I found that particularly annoying. As an investor, I understand that people want to build a relationship. And I think for later stage investors, that makes a lot of sense. If I'm writing a check for $4 million, I do want to get to know who I'm investing in. But I think for smaller investor, such as myself, where we're writing a much smaller check, that time period of like get to know you can be a lot shorter. Not every investor's like that, but hopefully it's getting a little bit better.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all.